Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the SirLinksalot podcast. I am your loving host, Artemis Peacock, and today I'm here with our CEO and founder, Nick Altimore. Nick, how is it going today?
It's going pretty good. Today, like most of our conversations, we've been on for about 2 hours now, just shooting and rolling through it. And I can't complain. I feel warmed up and ready for the podcast, you know?
Is this like a good morning ritual for you? Is like wake up, be forced to talk to Artemis, and then be forced to work?
It's not a forced either. Like I look forward to it. I get, one of the great things about hiring good people is then you can verbal vomit just about anything. And even if they absolutely hate listening to it, then they just kind of got to roll with it. So I'm taking full advantage.
You say that, but like
I'm sure some people do.
I tell you all the time. I'm just kind of like, Nick, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
like
she does.
Like this, yeah. Or I'll just be like, Nick, that doesn't make any sense.
That also comes up. Yes, I get checked a lot. A lot of times I don't feel like a boss at all. So it is what it is. But yes, I do look forward to our pre-podcast ritual. It's very cathartic for me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's good for my mental health because you know what? Sometimes, when you're talking to somebody and you're just kind of like, you know what? In the middle of conversation, you're like, I don't want to talk to you ever again.
Yes. It happens majority of the time, I feel like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with you, I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, I feel refreshed. I feel like ready to go about my life. But like with some people, no offense, I'm not talking about anybody in particular, so don't start workshopping if you know me. Don't workshop this in your head and say like, wait, last time we spoke was Artemis's eyes glazing over. No.
She's talking about you.
I'm talking about you, your entire bloodline, your mother, your son, your father.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I noticed, I'm thinking, is this like a me problem? But then like I'll talk to you and after the conversation, I'll feel like good and refreshed. And I'm like, no, I think it's just like everybody else problem. Because like this doesn't happen all the time.
I feel like, we have conversation, right? Whereas a lot of people are just unloading. And there's a very big difference there.
Well, we also don't really do small talk. We never have.
No.
So maybe it's like a quality of a conversation kind of deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have to listen to yeah. I mean, you do have to listen to a decent amount of with me. I know that, but it's mixed in with some gems in there. I feel like, right? So whatever.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
Take it or leave it. Whatever.
Which is why I think that this format of podcast is so fun for me. I know that we also love doing like our little deep dives. We're going to have more of those for you guys soon. But I feel like getting to hear like little nuggets of like Nick's opinions on stuff is probably like the most amusing thing ever because I never know what this guy's going to say. So I know that it's a real treat for you guys too. So without further ado, today we're going to be doing, so as I was telling Nick earlier, I did a couple of versions of this podcast because I didn't know what direction I wanted to go with it. But I decided that I wanted to do another episode of judging marketing hot takes from the marketing subreddit. And this is actually kind of like a culmination of like marketing techniques, stories of people, like things that people in the industry are going through, and also some ads that kind of questionable. The first one, pull up the last screenshot, and we're going to have our editor throw this on the screen. It is the 2025 Hub recap. So it says, has anyone did this kind of gray growth hacking? First of all, I think referring to this as gray is a little bit liberal in the usage of that term, but
sure.
I digress. How many email addresses got marked spam and blocked before you got any results? And it reads, your 2025 Pornhub recap. And the body of the email says, nah, just kidding, Camille, or whoever the email's received by. But since you're reading this, it's Mike. And are you already using Salesforce at your company? We help early stage and growing startups set up Salesforce, and then they just go into their pitch.
I didn't think that was going to be Salesforce, because that's a pretty big company, right? Going on with that racy line. Me being an at heart, at least semi-degenerate, like something about this email speaks to me. Like, here's something that a lot of people probably don't realize happens. Like I see all communication, all emails, all customer service, everything. I see it every single day. I've got a email address where it, uh, submits everything to me. And then like I go through and I digest everything that's going on. Nobody has sent me a cool email like that, because I would have maybe not replied, but at least I would have remembered it and I would have remembered that company. Now, do I think this is a good idea on a bigger scale? I don't know, because there's a lot of really timid and just people that aren't going to find that as they're not going to be comfortable with that, quite honestly.
Look, you can't ask yourself a hypothetical yes or no question and then answer it with, I don't know. Nick, do you think this is a good idea, just like business-wise?
I think it's a good idea for comedy's sake, but probably not for business. The corporate angel on my shoulder is like imagining if I was typing that up and I'm like, this is really good. And then when you tell me, Nick, you can't do that, I go, oh, you're right. I can't do that. That to me seems the sensible way.
Would I be the only thing stopping you is like, yeah, my PR lady is gonna say, nah.
Yeah, probably. I'll say this. Early on, when we were a really small company, I was talking about this with somebody recently. We took more racy approaches to getting noticed, right? So at the time when I first started, like my first company that would actually like have legs, it was Freedom Links. It was based on, the political environment that was currently going on. So we said like, make backlinking great again. No political ties or anything like that. It was just about, this will be memorable. It gets out there. It kind of stirs shit up a little bit. And yeah, I would make stupid memes and put them out there, and it worked. But I think like, small company trying to do something and gain notoriety, that might work better for, like, if you're already established, like the company that we just went over, I think doing that puts you in a position where you might get hit with some backlash that's not really worth the move.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm re-looking at this, and now that I look at it, I didn't read the comments, so I don't know like the full context. But it seems like it's not from like a direct Salesforce representative, but someone who just like trained in Salesforce and wants to like train teams in Salesforce. But I also think you need like a certification to do that from Salesforce, right? So like still affiliated, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not. Even so, if it's like a consultancy, it's like, man, I just don't understand who their target demographic is. Like, who would be like,
yeah, let me talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah, let me hear you out. Hold on. Let me hear you out real quick.
On like, let's say you send that out to 20,000 emails. I don't think you're going to have a huge percentage of response to it. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah. I see a lot of these marketing guys too, particularly on like Facebook, right? And there's no filter on what they're doing, and they're doing these wacky posts that I wouldn't want to have anything to do with. And oftentimes I wonder, I'm like, is this drumming up business, or is this just like a vanity metric, right? Like you're getting some laughs and stuff, but I don't know what it translates into. Ultimately, if you're a brand and you're looking for success, you can get quirky. You can have fun with your branding. You can have fun with your message. But if you get too off topic, I think you run the risk of hurting the image of your brand. So in my opinion, while I like the creativity involved here, it's not something that I would advocate for. No.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays, though, it doesn't matter what kind of email is coming to my inbox. I feel like I just kind of tune out. So
also true.
Yeah, I get a lot of emails from people in our Facebook group, the SEO Roundtable. If you're not a part of it right now, run over to Facebook and join in our marketing and SEO discussions. So I get a lot of emails from people who find my email from my website, which is linked to my Facebook profile. And I have to say, every single time I get one, I'm just annoyed. I don't think, because, I'm obviously also providing the same service you are trying to sell. So it's like, you're not keeping in mind your target demographic here. If I were targeting like a bunch of edgelords who are like
right.
like Nick, if I were targeting like crypto bros, like your little friends, I think this would definitely go over well.
You would have to be a lot more degenerate than that to get my friend's attention. But, you know, yes, it'd be more in line with, you know, there's certain demographics like, and let's say this, like, you know, in and of itself, pornography, huge industry. I don't know what their emails look like. I haven't gotten any of them. But maybe they're a little bit more quirky and yeah, didn't, I wish I could remember it, but like, I thought did something, some sort of like huge marketing spectacle that sort of resonated that way. I can't remember it right now.
I'm pretty sure they did. I know what you're talking about. Hold on. Because I remember they did something that was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, most of their advertising is like word of mouth, apparently.
Yeah,
So,
go,
but
like viral kinds. Oh,
yeah.
You can't really type in anything here without it just going to videos, it seems.
Okay, so one
oh,
thing
new here's a Reddit.
Yes, drop a link.
Okay. I don't know because it's a video, so I don't know if I want to go down the rabbit hole.
On the job.
But it's on Reddit, and they're like, yeah, this new ad goes viral, and then they're all talking about how hilarious it is. All of them, all 4 people commenting.
So when you're in like all 4 people commenting,
yeah,
when you're in like a niche like that, I can see that there's a lot of room that you'll be able to like have more fun with it, I guess.
Sure.
But like there's some niches I won't even touch. For example, one of the girls in my marketing club she works in gambling, right? And it's a very highly regulated industry, especially in Europe. And I'm thinking it's so regulated that you can't even like have any fun with it. Like there's so many things that you just can't say, or else you'd be like, oh, legal department says this whole ad is just illegal and will get us charged with like an actual felony or something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, with like SEO, we're able to pretty much say and go take a lot of approaches. So we could have we could be at liberty to do something like this if we theoretically wanted to.
Sure.
But if we were in an industry that was kind of like, I don't know, like real estate, something more like buttoned up, which I know you've had real estate clients as well. People would just be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. And if it does stick in their mind, I don't know if it's going to leave like a positive influence or if it's just going to be like
I don't think it would
kind of slight bad taste, right? So
like if it's another marketer, I feel like they would just be like, okay, this is like really lowbrow. But if it's maybe like a pedestrian, I don't fucking know. What do you call them?
A civilian. Yeah.
A civilian.
A person, a normal consumer. Yes, if they're just a consumer.
Normies.
Oh my gosh. Now we're gonna get shadow.
Shadow banned for calling people normies. Oh
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Fizzled out there. Sorry.
No worries. I just dropped another link because I'm like excited to go through these little techniques. I'm like, how would you sell me and Nick? Like if people are trying to sell us, how would they do it? I'm curious to see which one of these would work on either of us, if any. So
I think we're pretty, hard to market to, given our conversations. I'm like, we're probably nightmares for a lot of these people.
Oh yeah. Especially just because our personality type are very like,
but
I know what I want. And
I will say this, like now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, if I latch onto something, it's typically because it's got some sort of edgy, motive behind it. Like I'm thinking about like, I don't know about Salesforce, but see, like that's called, it's software and stuff. I don't get really excited about that. But if you want to sell me like I don't know, a comic book or an action figure or something, show me like a racy aspect to it. And I'm more susceptible to it for sure.
Okay. Cause it's more like humanized. It's more like authentic. It's not like,
it's just something it speaks to me in some way, shape or form, I guess.
I'm taking notes for if I ever need to like try to sell you something.
All of us are manipulatable. Like I guess that's what I'm trying to advocate for here is like, none of us are past the, influence of these psycho algorithms or AI or any number of things, right? We're
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. And
we're
there's
all
going to be one that
digestible.
touches on that a little bit more as well. But I'm super
Fair.
excited to hear your take on. But this one
Ugh.
is captioned, will this marketing approach do more harm than good? And it is just a screenshot with Duolingo absolutely stuffing this person's inbox. You'll notice one is like twice in a day, and then every day subsequently after that. And this is pretty recent. So this is something that they're currently doing. This is from like last week. Sent
That's
one
insane.
January 8th, one on the 9th, one on the 10th, one on the 11th, and another one on the day of, which was when they were posting on the 12th. Literally just like nagging. And I know this strategy has kind of worked for them in the past because everyone's kind of making jokes about like their notifications, where it's
Mhm.
like or maybe that was Lingo Deer, one of the other language learning apps,
Yeah.
but it just pops up and it's like pestering you. You need to practice, you need to do this, you need to do that. So to some extent, I think it works. But with email,
Oh, that's email? I thought that was just phone oh, wait, this is email.
this
Oh,
is
that
email.
now
Yeah.
see, regardless, whether it's your phone or whether it's email, like, that would piss me off, to be honest.
Really?
It would be an automatic, "You're out of here. I can't handle this." Yeah, because you're being bombarded with stuff. Honestly, it reminds me like every ex-girlfriend I ever had. I say I need my space, and then they're just like on there nonstop, and I'm not even replying. I don't know what to do. I'm joking, but
Halfway.
yeah, halfway
I'm thinking,
joking, right?
yeah.
But yeah, it comes across as like very needy, and then also, I'm not like somebody that loves taking orders and being bossed around. So if my emails are coming across that way, or if my phone's talking to me that way, you better believe I'm putting it away.
He's like, "Who do you
No.
think you are,
Yeah,
phone?"
get out of here. So no, I don't like it, and I don't imagine too many people would. However, working in sales previously, you'd be surprised at how much of the population these kinds of concepts do work on, right? Like, so it's in
Right?
this case, I would say like it's a sort of like negative reinforcement, but it's still like a reinforcement just the same. And a lot of the population out there wants to be told, sorry to bore you, what to do. And like when I was working phone sales, forever ago, lifetime ago, um, it was heavily based on the principles of like, don't ask these people anything, like, you tell them what they want, you tell them what they need. And that approach has a huge psychological influence on a huge amount of people. And
Wow.
again, I'm not talking about this based on like something that's just like, you're coming up with your own pitches. I'm talking about pitches that are backed by data, right? Concepts. We talked about Bernays, but like this would be the same kind of approach in a certain degree where you're taking psychology into account as well as the demographics you're going after, based on data sets that allow you to kind of know what direction to go, in aspects to how you steer these people. And yeah, I mean, like that is marketing in a nutshell, isn't it? It's getting
Yeah.
people to identify with something. And so, Duolingo is huge. I imagine they have some kind of data backing why they're doing some of this. If nothing else, they do it for a short period of time and then they get notoriety in this sense. But we were talking about that recently. Is there such a thing as bad press? Jordan Belfort, for example, the guy that wrote the scripts that we were learning from in sales, that's the Wolf of Wall Street guy, right? He
Yeah.
would argue that no, there is no bad press. It's just get your face out there. And arguably, if we look at the current political state, et cetera, like, I'm just like, it sure seems like nobody cares. Just say whatever
Yeah.
you want, get it out there, and like you still find these people that latch on to whatever subject matter. And, that
Right.
plays into just being human, I guess, to a certain degree.
I mean, even with Duolingo, they had this big uproar a couple of months ago. I
Mhm,
want to say maybe it was this summer to where they had this entire campaign where they like killed the Duolingo owl, and then they uh had an email leak from their CEO saying that they were making it a more AI forward business and they weren't going to be paying actual people to help with like some of their translations or things like that.
mhm.
And when that got out, those two things together, people were like, this is like tone deaf, insensitive. Like, we don't want, like, AI doesn't belong anywhere in the language learning sphere, which to an extent I also agree with. And they had this massive backlash to the point where Duolingo deleted like everything off of their social media, or maybe it was just their TikTok, and they were like dark on social media for a while because of that.
What an
And
extreme
then
thing to do.
yeah, it was very like the backlash first of all was like massive. So everybody was like, even their explanation that they did, they were like, Duolingo will always have people here, but we're just, we're making less people here now, and we're using AI to help our people do their job, but there will be less people now. Make no mistake.
Yeah, that's a
Kind of.
common story that they're feeding out now. Can we
Yeah.
go back to why you don't think AI should be anywhere in language learning?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the basis of language in general is all very human, including the evolution of language. So
Okay,
every word that we use, for example, why we don't use the words tis and thee anymore, all of that is just because of the evolutions of what has become more usable for humans in general. AI will never be able to understand nuances of language structure because a
okay,
lot of humans barely understand it. So, that's why it's an entire like a sometimes you can tell when someone's first language isn't whatever your native language is, just
sure.
because some of the ways that they say some things are very like just a little bit off. Like for example, if I say, I want to go to the store, and someone else could say like, I wish to go to the store.
Mhm.
Technically, both are natural, but because I said it in a way that's like, oh, I want to go to the store, it's something that you're used to hearing. You trained your ear towards it. Um, that would sound a lot more natural, and you can like pinpoint that it's a human. Whereas
Okay.
maybe Google Translate would tell you it's okay to say like my wish is to go to the store, but no one's going to talk like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
This happens in every single language. And I recognize that I'll never sound like a native speaker in any languages that I speak except for English, but I'm okay with that. It just is what it is.
You'll hate to hear then that I was considering buying those AI headphones that allow for automatic translation, because I thought it was a fun concept.
I think that if it's between using your AI auto translation headphones and using Google Translate, it doesn't make a
Mhm.
difference. It's the
I
same
wouldn't
thing.
think so. Yeah, it's the
But
same
when it
thing.
comes to
Yeah.
like learning language in an applicable
Yeah.
way,
Okay,
you
fair.
know,
Yeah.
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 But with
Yeah.
things like that, you're not using the AI translation to learn. You're using it because you don't want to
Yeah.
learn.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, which
For
is
sure.
something very dangerous, I think, actually, but we can save that for another time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lazy
not wanting to
human
learn language, you
podcast.
mean?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Not wanting to learn anything, just wanting to
Oh,
rely
yeah.
on something else to do just about everything for you.
No, I mean
Yeah,
the concept is
brain rot is coming from all directions these days. Yeah,
oh yeah, dude. The amount of brain rot content that I just consume just casually. So I
it's
have a
bad.
rule for myself. I can't scroll on TikTok unless I'm doing something active. So I'll go on an hour-long walk every day just so I can have an excuse to like scroll TikTok, which is like degenerate, but like it is what it is. It works for
It's
me.
counterproductive to why you take the walk. Whatever.
No, I'm
Yeah, okay,
taking the
fine.
walk for my fitness so that I get my
Oh, so
blood
not to
flowing.
enjoy nature or any yeah, you
Well, it's
just
the same walk every day. I've already enjoyed it plenty. I know where I'm
okay.
going. I could do that walk with my eyes closed at this
There's
point.
nuances to the journey every single day the more you pay attention. But see, this is the problem. Nobody notices the nuances. They're all just stuck looking at
Hell
these
yeah.
soul-catching
I got my face in my
marketing.
phone. If you ever see me out in public, this is what I look like.
I
On
believe
God.
it. I believe it.
Every
Yeah.
time.
See, I make a conscious effort not to have my phone out in public, or at least like bare minimum. And I eat alone a lot. A lot of people, I guess, think that's weird. I love going out to eat by myself. And
Yeah.
while I'm out to eat, like I will virtually not mess with my phone at all. Like I will be attentive to whatever my surroundings are. I feel like it slows things down, helps me
I'm
breathe
scared
a
of you.
little bit.
I'm
Yeah, I
intimidated by
think a
you.
lot of people are. I think a lot of people are scared of that concept.
No, I'm scared of you because
Whatever.
who does that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I see what's going on around me.
Why? Like, what are you trying to take in? I feel like there's enough going
The
on in the world.
world,
I
just the
know what's going
world,
on.
I'm not trying
What
to
are
be
you trying to
force-fed anything. I'm just trying to exist in the moment. It's very zen. You should try it out.
you know,
And for
you told me
$4.99, you can join my course on how to eat homeopathic whatever. And yeah,
You told me to like not listen to music during one of my walks, and I was like, all right, bet, let me try this. And I like took my headphones out, and 20 minutes in, I was like, this is the worst shit ever.
that's so
This is
funny because like I've got an opposite story. I
really
remember I would work out and all the way. So I started heavily working out like into high school and all the way through college. It was like a heavy routine, really a ritual for me, right? Like I had to do it. Um, and it wasn't until my graduation year of college that my then girlfriend gifted me. At the time, we had what are called iPods before phones, and
what
so
are
like you put your
those?
music on there. Anyhow, I remember the first time putting music on as I'm exercising, of like probably around 10 years of no music, no nothing while I exercise. And it completely transformed the way that I did things. And I was very thankful for the concept. Now I've gone back to no music again, and I'm finding I don't know. I'm liking that shift again for whatever reason. I'm not
That's
really
so
sure why.
masochistic. You want to be in tune with the suffering of your body while you're
Maybe
working out.
it could be. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's it.
It probably also dives deep into some of my psyche where like, I read about what those little Bluetooth headphones are doing to your brain, and I won't take any part of it. Okay, so my friend Fernando has these retro new Iowa ones that they're all corded, and so I'm gonna go back to like a tape deck or something like that. I want
With the
and
what's
and I think that's cool. There's a resurgence because I was looking for them because I got a tape collection, of course, if you know what tapes are. But they make Walkmans now. They're making Walkmans again for people like me that are geriatric to this new age movement of
you have a
everything being
pager too?
digital. I would, actually, I long for the day that I am not as accessible as I currently am, where it feels like the late 90s again, where your friends got a call at your house. And if you're not there, tough luck. You can try and figure out where I am, but you're going to have to go on an adventure to find me. Yeah, I
You
want
are
that.
never going to be contacted by anyone ever again. I hope you know that.
Whatever,
Just like a
dude. So,
landline and vibes.
yeah. Yeah. And no Wi Fi, killing my pineal gland and all that other stuff that it does.
What do you need maximum brain capacity for? He's like, I'm not having these Bluetooth rays in my head. Why? What do you need that thing for?
It's a good question. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
just paranoid and crazy. I don't know, but I'm leaning into it and I like it. Okay.
Or
So
you could say, I need my
actually,
brain to
no,
be
I mean,
but no,
I,
you're like, nah, I don't need it.
I do. I have a fascination with like the analog, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've got obviously, like you see, I've got books here, but I've got like the same amount of DVDs, CDs, records, and tapes in my living room with all the old fashioned players, from the past to play them. And I remember when I first got it, I would tell everybody, um, that me and my son picking out a movie reminded me of the days where we had to go to a store. You had to be very selective with what you were going to get because maybe you got one or two movies, and sometimes they would suck and sometimes they were awesome. But like it was a whole, again, I'm going to go back to the word because this is the word I'm liking right now, ritual. Where on the weekend you go and you do this. And so like even like doing it with my son, there's a slowing down of the pace. And for a long time, listening to music algorithmically, I stopped paying attention to what I was listening to. I stopped giving a shit about the history of what I was listening to. I wouldn't even look at the artist, nothing, right? It's all just a
Mm.
blur. When I got back to the concept of records, tapes, CDs, you have to move slower through your reality. You have to be conscious of what it is you want to digest. And I think there's a lot of magic to be found in that slowing down this pace of life. And especially like rebuilding that conceptualization with like my kid, where like we have a movie night, he's got to go and pick a DVD or whatever, or a VHS, and then he knows how to do it and stuff like, yeah, there's something cool there versus, oh, I'll just let Netflix decide what I'm watching and force feed me all this random. No, I like it. That's why. Sorry, I
am
went on a
so
rant, and I know we're supposed to be stuck on, something, but I went for it, and that's something.
honestly,
Sorry, guys, if
you
y'all
got a
aren't
lot
used
from
to
that.
this show, that's there's something up here that's not quite screwed in too tight,
I feel
Expend
like
yeah,
anybody who has their screws all the way fitted are just like the worst people ever.
they're
But
pretty boring to
also,
talk to.
to be honest with you, I feel like I got a lot from that conversation because honestly, Nick, I just realized that sounds like hell to me. I'm good on all that. Like, what
You're
is your
missing
you
out
like
then.
you're way too okay with like struggling. I want the softest life imaginable. If Netflix says, "Hey, I figured out from, paying attention to everything you've said within the past 3 years that you would love this show," I'm like, "Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The soft
Thanks, Netflix."
life makes it hard to appreciate the uh the nuances of life, I feel like. See, like we're talking about the walk. On my walk, I want to hear the birds chirping or like the small things. Like I remember traveling with a buddy of mine, and like I'd always be pointing out different things. I'm like, dude, look at that. And he'd be like, how do you even notice these things? And I'm like, it's simple. I'm looking around, dude. I'm not staring at my phone wondering what picture I'm going to take or who I'm going to send this to. I don't give a shit about that. I'm living in the moment, right? And it's something I
Yeah.
try and instill in my son too. He's not a tablet kid or anything like that. I'm trying to put it off as long as I can. And I tell him there's value in being aware of your surroundings. There's value in moving slow and being kind of methodical with your movements. And I think little exercises like making it that much harder to listen to music makes it more intentional, and building intention has a lot of depth to it. Yeah, that's where I stand with it. I like
I
it.
think you're just more evolved than me, to be honest with you. That's actually a very important Buddhist concept called mindfulness. And
Mhm.
I struggle very deeply with it. I'm not proud of it, but it feels uncomfortable. And that's why meditation is so hard for a lot of people because it's so hard
Yeah.
in this day and age to just sit and just be and exist.
Yeah.
And even the ideas that you have around things like struggling. Well, it's called the concept of suffering. I know it sounds
Sure.
dramatic,
Yeah.
but you're not actually suffering by going through and choosing your music intentionally, but it is
Yeah.
like a type of suffering. And that is supposed to be something that we're supposed to just not, if not accept, then be welcoming to
Yeah.
with Buddhist philosophy. But you know what? I'm just not
There's
there.
magic in there. There's some magic in there. I'm telling you. It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile.
I'll take your word
Start
for it.
start a little record collection or something, whatever it is. Just so, well, I mean, you have to be mindful with what you're doing. Like you started playing the piano recently, and you're a savant, so like automatically just picked it up. But in there, and see, like I'm not, and I'm just going to keep this going. But
Yeah.
meditation, I think, can be found in a lot of different ways, and it's not. I don't like sitting my ass down and just focusing on my breath too much. I'll do it every once in a while, but I find it easier to do it if I'm actively doing it. So, like maybe in a yoga or something like that. But I feel like you can find these meditative kind of states to a certain degree in just slowing down your pace of life with whatever you're doing. Instead of
Yeah.
watching a movie, you read a book. And even that, I think, I hear a lot of friends that are like, yeah, I go through a lot of books. And I'm like, that's cool, but they're just like listening to them. And I feel like even there,
Oh,
there's
like
less intention, and
audiobooks?
you're missing a
Yeah.
lot of stuff too. Now you can digest more, arguably, right? But I kind of associate that thing with like the same people that are always watching self-help videos, right? Like, they got Gary V on the background all the time, and like they're always like, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna hustle and like this and that. But like,
Grind!
they're just doing that, right? And they're calling that
Yeah.
grind. And it's like, maybe if you were just slowing down, get in your garage and start with some tools or something, that'd be a better grind. And I'm not talking shit about people
Yeah.
that go down those rabbit holes, because we're obviously kind of doing one, I guess. But
I
yeah,
don't know. To
it's
be honest with you, I feel the exact same way about people like that. Like, this is so shady. But there's this guy I've had on my Facebook. I might have met him once at like an anime convention in like 2014 or something. He's been on my Facebook ever since for the past like 12 years. And for the entire time, he's been posting like grindy stuff. Like think about like the Alex Hormozy stuff, but like
Oh, really?
in Facebook graphics the entire time, just kind of like achieve your goals. Like if you're not doing this, then you're not achieving your goals and you're trash, whatever, the entire time. And he like posts Facebook photos of him in like a suit, like every single time. He's like posting a photo, but he's not like going anywhere special. He's just like chilling around in a suit.
Yeah.
This guy has done like nothing. Like the execution is at like 0. He's literally all just like about consuming this kind of content and feeling like that in itself is just as valuable as if he were to actually like do it. I'm thinking if he spent the past 12 years instead actually like implementing whatever,
watch one and then go work for 2 weeks on the principle that you found interesting. Going to go a lot further than just continually doing. But see, that's I think the era we're kind of in. There's a lot of bloat. There's a lot of concepts of I will just embody this character versus actually be this character. And since it's so easy to get on social media and present a facade, I feel like a lot of people latch on to those concepts because, quote, they're easier. And I think that's one of the dangers, right? Like you can take that and take the principles from like just being mindful somewhere else and take them to the same thing. It's one thing to just listen to shit. It's another thing to digest it and utilize it, right?
For sure.
But I feel like those characters are a dime a dozen, the ones you're talking about, because I've got them on my feed too.
Oh,
and
really?
I won't out any of them, but I know who you are. Yeah, of course. Just telling everybody how they should be living, how to create wealth, this and that, and it's like, you're broke, my guy, and you don't have it together. Maybe just slow down and focus on your immediate control and baby steps. A lot of times,
so broke. Like if they were like successful, it would be like I guess one thing. In that case, they would have probably just monetized the course that would tell you how to do so. Whatever.
Yeah,
exactly. There are also frauds who are monetizing those courses, but I digress. But like, there's this one chick who made this video on TikTok talking about how difficult her life was because like she was like the most successful person in her family and da da da. She was like talking all kinds of like big game, and I'm like, let me see what this girl's Instagram looks like. I go to her Instagram and she's literally just like every single photo is her posting in like Shein in a parking lot next to like random cars.
Nice. Yeah.
Like every single photo. She's like wearing like you can just tell. And it's like in some random like suburban American complex too. And I'm thinking, how many of these people who are online telling everybody you need to like lecturing everybody about what they should be doing are literally just saying stuff to look cool on the internet. They're not even doing anything.
But how do you like, how does that make you feel in the end? Like it's got to be discouraging because like, what you are, I would think, right? Like, but
I don't think you do.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this because I got a cool car, but I've caught people sitting on my car before in a parking lot. And I've been like, what are you doing, bud?
That's funny.
I don't care. Like, would you like to sit in it and take a picture? But
that's so weird. That happened to my bicycle once.
Have a nice bike. That's cool though. I can see. I would probably make friends with the person that sees my bicycle is like, I gotta sit on that bad boy. I'd be like, this is a character, No,
I absolutely did. That was the story. That's how I met the Bosnian ambassador because his wife, when she was taking my bike, she left her purse on the back of it.
Yeah.
And then we just like drove off because like,
Yeah.
And then we get all the way to the next town over before realizing, because my father-in-law thought it was my bag. And I was like, Dad, that's not my bag. And he was like, whose bag is it? We go inside and we see like the diplomatic ID and I have like a heart attack. And I'm like, oh my God, we just like robbed an ambassador. Like, what the fuck? We just caused international crisis. And but, like, I was super cool. So he invited me to the embassy and we hung out for a minute and all was well, got the bag back. So
see, it panned out to be a pretty cool story.
But with a car, it's like you're schmuck.
Well, and why they're taking the picture. It's to use it,
This is my whip.
Because like I've taken pictures of other people's cars. As a matter of fact, like being a car person myself, if I see especially an old dude that's really vibing in his car, I always roll down my window. I give him the thumbs up, just because I know how that feels. Okay,
but that's like a photo of the car. You're not taking a photo,
right? And I've taken pictures of a car. Yeah, but I'm not like tell my buddy like, hey, get a picture of me like with the car, right? Like
that's embarrassing.
I don't think I've ever taken it. Well, maybe no, at a car show or something, right? Where it's like it makes
That's the
sense.
event.
But I'm not trying to pawn off that I own the Ferrari behind me or some shit like that. It's just that's
Wait, have you taken a photo with your own cars? Because I know you don't just have the one.
not since I was like a teenager. And that's the funny thing is like I was thinking about that recently since you're making me do all this PR stuff. If you guys see me out there being a D-bag, it's because Artemis is making me do it, okay? But I do
Period.
understand the value of getting out there. And if you guys are like me, where you really don't want to be doing this, like just I gotta admit that there is value in letting people know that you exist and that you're, living a happy, good, decent life and whatever. But I was thinking about that. I'm like, dude, I got some cool, stuff I could take
Post it for
pictures with.
clout.
But then when I picture, yeah, but see, that's the thing. That it we've talked about this. Then I feel like it's taking away from me as the individual because, like, I have this stuff because I like it, because I love it. It's actually something I kind of want to talk about, so I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go free
Go
roll
for it.
and spit it.
Go for it.
So I was thinking about this, right? Yeah, I have 3 cars, right? All of them. The newest one is almost 20 years old, right? And that's my daily driver. The oldest one is 1978.
Okay.
All of them run. All of them are fun, but I have them because I like them. I also have like 5 motorcycles, but I have them because I like them, not because I want validity anywhere else. As a matter of fact, the 78 is a 280Z, and the reason I got an affinity for those cars was when I was in high school, we came across this random mechanic shop that exclusively worked on those, which got me down a rabbit hole of, modifications that you could do, and the fact that they were like not terribly rare cars, but you don't see them too often. They're not terribly expensive or anything like that. But yeah, I always wanted one. So when I got to a position where like, I'd get my dream car, it wasn't about what somebody else's dream car is. I don't find it interesting to go buy the latest model of fucking whatever. I don't think it's interesting. I think it kind of lacks creativity in a certain sense. And like, maybe if I was some billionaire that, would go get a new car, I still think I'd be this guy, right? Like
Right.
I'm not into anything that I'm into because I want somebody else to think I'm cool. Now, have I gone through periods like that and like adolescence and stuff? Absolutely. Sure. Like there's always like the look a certain way, etc. But I feel like I've shed a good amount of that. And the thought of
Yeah.
taking pictures with the stuff I love in aspects to gain clout would be taken away from my
It's
passion.
not even cool anymore. I feel like the things that you like are so special to you because you actually put like intention
Yeah.
behind everything that you like you don't just buy things. I feel like you curate things. So
Yeah.
because of that, it's like an intimate experience
It is.
to share those sorts of things,
Yeah,
So
like even small stuff, right? Like this sword and helmet, right? I found them on Marketplace. I ended up going to the house for like 30 minutes. They said they'd gotten a lot of calls, but they were interested in talking to me about it. It belonged to their son who passed like a few months before. And,
wow.
they were kind of shedding stuff, but they wanted it to be used in like an appropriate way because he was way into it and stuff. And like, yeah, I see that regularly, and I told them it was going to be on the podcast, in the background because of SirLinksalot, and it adds a certain tinge of value to it that, like, yeah, is closer to me. It's not there as like as a prop. As a matter of fact, a lot of the stuff that I put in, my backgrounds, like you said, are curated, and they are in some way, shape, or form like symbolic. Yeah, and yeah, my entire house kind of resonates that way.
Which is why you need to take everything to storage because you curated a little too
I
hard.
curated a little too much. I've been doing it too long. I'm not gonna lie. But
Yeah.
inside of that too, right? Like you I don't know. I think it's a different type of consumerism because it is consumerism, but it's not. It doesn't completely control you the way that I think a lot of people are controlled by the concept of what they need to have, right? And that's like one of the things, is like I don't have any debt on any of my cars. Could I go get a new Porsche, yeah, I could, but it doesn't seem sensible to me. It's not like something I find that interesting because ultimately, while it would be cool, um, it'd be doing it for a different reason and
Right.
not somewhere I'd want to be. I think, you
It'd be
handle
kind of
things
like
this way, it's more
lame.
creative. Huh?
It'd be kind of lame in my opinion.
It
You know
would,
what I mean?
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like, unless I'm, like, taking it to go race it or something cool like that, but then that becomes, like, its own thing, like, and that I'm just talking about, like, verbal vomiting my thought process on this stuff, but because I
Yeah.
do, I go back and forth with, like, "Damn, dude, you're still a f***ing consumer, there's no doubt about it." Like, I love treasure hunting for old junk, right? But it does have a certain intention behind it, and, yeah,
Mm. It
to a
is that.
certain degree. Huh?
It's treasure hunting.
It's
Like, you're
treasure
not
hunting.
just, like, collecting stuff just for the sake of having stuff or, like,
No.
being able to show off your stuff. It's things
Mm-mm.
that you actually care about. So, for
Yeah.
example, if you were to sell that sword behind you tomorrow, you'd be pretty torn up about it, actually. You wouldn't say, like, "Oh, well, this is fine. It just needs to go. It's taking up space." Even if you got a new one to replace it, you would still kind of mourn it in a way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I used
So
them for Halloween and stuff, right? Like, so it's like they get
yeah,
their
yeah,
use, now they're connected to me as well. Um, I am trying to get better about letting stuff go, but I found that especially, like, as an older person, I've been collecting since I was a kid, right?
right.
I find myself giving stuff away nonstop now, and I like doing it. The intentions early might have been because some of that stuff was valuable or whatever, and now I like to make sure that it gets to its right home. Yeah,
Oh, that's so cute! Oh my gosh, it's so
it's true.
sentimental.
It's true though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like since I started traveling several years ago,
Mhm.
when I left the US, I left with just, like, 1 suitcase and my cat. Like,
Mhm.
literally, everything was either sold. I sold my car, rest in peace, my
Yeah, the
1990.
Mustang, right? You had a cool yeah.
Yeah, I had a really cool Mustang convertible with a V8 engine, and so that like, letting go of that was, like, the hardest thing I had to do 'cause, like,
Thing
we
was bad.
purchased it. It was the first major purchase that me and my husband made after we got married because my in-laws gave us a wedding gift, and they were like, "Spend this on whatever you want." We were like, I want a freaking car," even
Yeah.
though I barely knew how to drive. Just me driving around this massive, because they're very, like, front heavy, so learning how to
Mhm.
drive those are really difficult, and I already suck at driving. So that's why I'm not, like, a car person. It's because I've crashed my car, like, 3 times, and it still was still going strong, so, uh
Those Fox body Mustangs will run forever. Those things are
oh, yeah.
badass.
I just
Yeah.
had to, like, replace a couple of things, like the headlight, and then I, like,
Yeah.
backed into something in a garage, so I had to replace the tail light too, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So, ever since I just gave away the stuff that actually, like, meant a lot to me. Now, I feel like having stuff is not that serious. So when we moved from Turkey to Greece, all the stuff we accumulated, same thing. They're sold, don't donated, most of it given away. If we couldn't figure out, we just threw everything out last minute. Moving from Greece to Netherlands, we had a little bit more stuff, but it was like we had another cat also,
Mhm. Yeah.
but it was to the point where I wasn't
I don't know
having
if
any.
I'd call it cat stuff, but yeah, sure.
She was a thing. She's the
Yeah.
feral one, so,
Okay. Yeah.
I'm terribly fond of her for some reason. It's the only reason because my husband hates her, but I see her charm. But, we had to really struggle in order to get her everywhere as well because long story short, she wasn't old enough for all the vaccines and stuff, so it was a
Mhm.
huge ordeal. So, I was just
That sounds
shedding stuff
painful.
for the past 5 years, and now everything that I have, it's stuff that I'm very, like, you're pointing to, like, your little background. My stuff are things that, like, I will turn around and I'll feel so good about what I'm
Mhm.
looking at. Girl with the Pearl Earring by Vermeer at the Moritz house, literally 2 train stops away. I'm there all the time just for the vibes. This is
Yeah.
Franz Hals from Harlem, a photo. This is a still life. I totally forgot the artist for that, but it's also in the Franz Hals Museum. You know what I mean? All of
Mhm.
these paintings and stuff are from museums that I actually, like, go to and or frequent. Simeon's Song of Praise, Rembrandt at the Rijksmuseum. If you see this one in
Oh,
person,
yeah.
this is the
Didn't you
most
take
beautiful
pictures in
painting.
front of it? Or did Brad take
No,
pictures in front of it?
no,
No?
that's the one I uploaded a photo and I said this one is actually kind of disrespectful to even upload a photo of online because nothing can capture how beautiful that painting
Sure.
is in person. But
Mhm.
it reminds me of it whenever I see this. and then I'll go to the Morris house and also look at it. Like
Sure.
you can't. This is just a pain that you can't recreate it. Period. So anyway, KLM house. When I got this house here, my real estate agent gave me this as a gift. Like
How very Dutch.
yeah,
No?
they're all very unique. They don't make
Mhm.
two of the same one. So,
Mhm.
all the stuff that I have here, like this is a book that my friend gave me because she said, when you speak enough Dutch to understand this book, I'm going to give you this book. And she told me that years ago, and then she gifted me the book.
That's
So
always nice when they remember. That's
yeah,
that's cool.
so everything is very like intentional, and even so, now that I'm filling this space with
Mhm.
my piano, and I just got like also like a dresser, which I was just putting my clothes wherever before, like it feels like I care more for my stuff. Like even my
It's
clothes.
inspiring, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the concept of a muse is typically put into like a person, but like your environment is, uh, you wake up there every morning, and it's been harder since I got into a bigger place. But I remember when I lived in a 420 square foot condo, everything was exactly where it needed to be. And like the way I would flow through that condo was perfect. I had it
I can't
exactly.
imagine you in a space where you can't just
It
like
was
collect stuff.
no, but see, it kept me keeping exactly what needed to be there, and, like, everything had its particular angle in the way it sat, so, like, my buddy Tony, who lived next door, would come over sometimes, and then he would go and he would move things around, knowing that as soon as he left, I would go move them back exactly in the, in
He's
the
such a
way that I
troll.
wanted. Oh, yeah, he would, yeah, or he would fold my towels and stuff like a hotel way or something. Like he was quirky in his own way too, but
He sounds fun.
opposite. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, he was amazing. I love him.
Yeah, I
But
feel you.
yeah.
I feel like that like you were talking about like sometimes your life is the art. I feel like it's
Mhm.
the same way for like spaces. Like your space is
Yeah,
kind of the art.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a part of who you are, right? Like if you wake up in a cold, mute colored place, with nothing anywhere. I don't know. I think there's people that operate in that, but like they're very sterile, and it's just like the exact opposite of my personality. It could never be me. I
Yeah.
have to live in this kind of chaotic clutter. Well, organized clutter, let's say that, to a certain
You're pretty
degree.
intentional. I remember I don't think
Mhm,
that we did this on stream. I think this is one of our like pre-stream chats. You were
mhm.
telling me about this book, and then literally like before you could even finish mentioning the book, you looked back at your shelf and then you just like grabbed it. And
I
like
know where
there's a
they
lot
all are.
of books back there. Yeah. I
Yeah.
was like, how did you find that book so quickly? You're like, oh, I just know where it is.
Yeah, you
Like
can't
what?
see it, but there's multiple bookcases here, and then underneath this table, stacked all the way up to the bottom of the table, are also books.
We'd love
Yeah,
to see it. I want to
I'm
do
not
like
gonna
a
show it.
house tour. Like I want to see how you live. I want to see what's going on.
Maybe at some point, I'll bust out the cars and the house, and we'll do an MTV Cribs kind of thing, and I'll just kind of begrudgingly do it.
I would love that would be so fun. Don't do it for clout, do it for me. I mean, my place is like I like my place a lot. We just
Mhm.
have like this 3 bedroom, but my favorite part is like we have like plenty of space for hosting, like the living
Sure.
room
Yeah,
slash
and
kitchen
you
is like
host a lot. Yeah.
yeah, so I
Mhm.
actually like put it to use. So I want to wait till like I'm decorating for hosting or something and then just being like, all right, guys, welcome to my crib.
Sure. Yeah.
You're like, oh, this is gonna be
I
so
I wanna be invited to it because I, have to live just through watching the clout pictures all day long, and it's amazing food and people smiling and good times, and,
oh yeah. I
yeah, let's go
love
ahead and plug it. If
clout.
very nice. Those are
I
cool. You
love
just get
clout.
those?
Oh no, I've had these for years. These are Prada.
Oh my gosh, yes, of course.
That's the thing, I
Yeah.
like keep them. Like someone sat on them once when
Yeah,
we were on a boat and they like bent and I unbent them and they were still good. So,
yeah,
you know, you gotta
yes.
have the quality ones. I'm not just like, oh, these are like these are just like designer, but like they're the higher quality ones. So
I'll be honest though, sunglasses are somewhere that I've spent money before that I just won't do it anymore. Within
why?
like a day or two, they're scratched, they're destroyed. if you look at my iPhone, for example, it was 2 days before I dropped my new iPhone that I got a couple months ago. Now it's cracked and it's got some kind of discoloration on the screen. And even though I paid for insurance, I haven't sent it in because I know it'll
Dude,
just
that's the
happen again.
worst. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I know what you mean. I dropped a pair of Miu Miu sunglasses. It was like $300 off the side of a ferry in a Greek
Yeah,
island. And
over.
I was like the way that I was apparently looking down into the water at those sunglasses, my husband was contemplating diving in and getting them for me, but it was like way too deep.
Bad
And he was
idea.
I don't know what my face looked like, but I was like apparently like devastated. I was like,
I'm sure. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he was like, baby, how much were those sunglasses? Because he knows how I am. He's like, how much were those sunglasses? I don't want to talk about it.
Well, both of y'all are like that, right? Y'all both
Yeah.
are fashionistas. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's more fashionable than me. So I was telling him
Really?
about, I was like, Nick was surprised to hear that you will spend
I was,
money on clothes like
yeah.
that and not secondhand. And he was like, well, I get them from like sustainable places, like I'll import it from Japan and it's such high quality, you can buy it for life. And so
Okay.
that's the thing. I'm like, okay, but it's also with secondhand stuff. Like, this is secondhand too. This is a secondhand Thai silk top. I spent like 15 euros on it, and it's actual silk. You don't need. I don't know.
I'm an advocate for used shit. There's enough used shit in the world, be it cars, clothes, you name it. Now, obviously, there's some things that you don't want used, right? Like medical devices or other, more intimate stuff. But underwear might, maybe that's a bit much.
Even if they say like, oh, this underwear has never been used, I don't believe that, because there's always those weird guys on Vinted who are like sending messages asking like, oh my gosh, they'll just be saying those inappropriate stuff just to get you to like respond.
Yeah, but if they want to buy my underwear, I would sell it to them. That's fine. I don't.
No, it's not even just that. They'll be like, oh, I'm just letting you know. Like, you could be selling a teddy bear. I'm just letting you know I'm going to do this, that, and this to this teddy bear that you're selling. And then they'll literally place it for it. Yeah, just to be weird. And there's also like this Reddit where people will take regular photos of regular women on Vinted selling their clothes secondhand if you're like wearing the clothes, and they'll just like post it. It's like sluts of Vinted or something. And they're just like regular people just wearing clothes.
Man, the internet figured out the most strange rabbit holes to pigeonhole people into, didn't it?
Yeah, like the grok thing. I was gonna mention that today too, where the people like trying to use grok,
making them nude,
dress people.
Yeah,
the AI. And now apparently the UK is making regulations for that, and so is, I think, Australia. I don't know. I might be thinking of like a different.
I think at least the US is just letting it all, just no regulation, nothing to see here, no problem here.
Making too much money.
Yeah, there's just too many boomers with a lack of, awareness, I think. Anyhow, I'll stop there on that.
Yeah, honestly, they know who they are, and
they know.
We're watching you. We
get
know.
the off the internet. Go watch our video about how kids under 16 and boomers don't need to be on the internet anymore. Sorry, not sorry. Little rage
said what
there
we
for
said.
you. Yeah, get out of here.
And on that note, you guys, we want you to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see me and Nick do a house tour within the next, I don't know, whenever Nick takes all this stuff to storage, because I'm so serious about this. I want a house tour so bad.
Okay.
I want to know how you live. I want to know what's going on.
It's not anything. It's not anything extravagant, I do have a lot of cool antiques, so I can show off those things that I've curated across a lifetime of treasure hunting, And,
okay, I'll stay for that.
And remember, that's how I became a marketer from the get-go, was my appreciation for old shit. And then when I learned how to digest the data behind old domains and the uses for them, I started buying them up like crazy. That became my obsession. Which is why I have like over 1,000 domains now, right? Yeah, but I actually buy and sell those. So
I would say I want one.
Yeah.
If
you want one, you can have one. Yeah, fine.
Give me a free domain as like a tip.
I don't care. They become like their own. Yeah, it's the same thing. You gotta keep them in storage. You gotta pay for them to stay there. Then maybe you use them at some point in time. Maybe you don't. Then you kind of forget you've got them. And yeah, so anyhow.
Yeah, I was actually I didn't know until I got into marketing how lucrative domains could be.
Yes.
And I was like really dreading buying my own. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, I need this for my site. And I bought it and I was like, oh my God, why did I just pay 200 euros? You like yearly you have to pay 200 euros to just use the domain. And it's like
That's
nobody else is using
Girl, that's
my
way too
name.
expensive. We got to get you on a new registrar and host. That's for one domain. That's too much money.
Yeah, thanks for the call out, Wix. Gosh, they're the
Ah,
worst.
yeah. Okay. No, we need to transfer you over to my personal favorite's Namecheap. I'll go ahead and plug them here.
Okay,
Uh,
sounds good.
Cheap and good customer service.
Yeah, no, anyway, I have this huge customer service gripe with Wix, but they kind of handle it, so I'm not gonna like blast them, but just know that I had an issue this week. And
And Wix sucks for SEO, just to bring it back since we are, SEOs ultimately.
yeah, but if you are, the only good thing about Wix for me is the UI because I literally just do not have the time or patience to be able to figure out a WordPress site. I don't care enough to hear just it's like the here damn of websites. But I will upload a video for you guys on Wix SEO, even though it is literally like an uphill battle trying to get it to work with Wix. There are ways to make it work. So I will upload a video for you guys soon on that one. And also probably a Squarespace one as well, because after we record it, my mic wasn't working.
Have fun with that one. You're not gonna catch me on no Wix or Squarespace. I'll tell
Good
you that
luck. You're gonna need it, queen.
much.
All right. On that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we will catch you guys in the next episode where we're probably also be talking about something completely random that you didn't know that you needed to hear about, but you
Yeah.
realized afterwards that you definitely needed to hear it. We will see you.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, make sure to give us a like, drop a comment, subscribe, so you don't miss out on any future SEO insights. And hey, if you're serious about your rankings, head over to SirLinksalot.co, check out our premium link building services, guides, and free SEO tools. See you next time.